So you went through all the time and effort to create a budget just to find out within a couple weeks you are not sticking to it. Today's video, we're going to be looking at 11 ways to stick to your budget, really jumpstarting that emergency fund and getting that savings built. It is not easy, guys. It takes a very conscious effort on your part to make sure that you're budgeting, make sure that you're sticking to it, and living within your means really, again, can fundamentally change your thought process and the rest of your life. Number one, sleep on big purchases. That is right, guys. If you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking to buy a car, if you're looking to make some major purchases, take some time, double think it, look at your options, weigh them, look at where you can finance a car if it's going to be inside your budget. You have to make sure, guys, buying a new car versus a used car, spending a couple days again to really review everything you have and looking at scenarios and what is going to add value. That is really the big thing, guys. Again, when you look at a car and you're looking at going from A to B, what is the value you need of the car that is not going to stress or break your budget? Number two, never spend more than you have. This is kind of common sense, but it is a rule that essentially accumulated $1 trillion in credit card debt. That is right, guys. We are knocking on the door as a nation of $1 trillion in credit card debt, which means Americans are spending a lot more than they have. It's very hard to get out of a debt cycle, especially if you are relying on credit cards, if you're relying on cash advance places, if you're looking at short-term loans. It is super expensive, guys. It might mean you pick up a side hustle, you cut down on your grocery bills, you look to get the things fundamentally cheaper than you have them right now, which again, never spend more than you have. If we lived by that, guys, most debt wouldn't exist within the United States and it would be kind of crazy. Number three, stick to a lower credit card limit. There is no reason out there to have 10, 20, 30, even $50,000 credit card limits. And I have seen them. I have seen $50,000 credit card limits where some people have owed $30, $40, $50,000 on a credit card, guys. Credit cards, of course, have a very high interest rate. If you think even a credit card, probably $3,000 to $5,000, I think would be a pretty good average. Because remember, if you have a card, you're paying it off every single month. Really twofold. Number one, you don't pay interest on it. And number two, you're not carrying a balance, so it doesn't affect your credit score. If you have a card with a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 limit, there is probably no way, if the balance is on there, that you're paying it off in full. It is going to make you stick to a budget because again, if you keep a low limit credit card, the chances are you're not going to get to the point where you can't pay it off. Let's say if you keep your credit card limit at $1,000, chances are for a majority of people, you can pay it off in a single month. Number four, budget to zero. This is the way that I do budgeting. We've talked about the 50-30-20 rule. We've talked about the zero budgeting balance. This is the way that I do it, is to a zero balance. So you take your income, you minus out your expenses. That is what you have left, guys. Now, income minus expenses equals zero. If it doesn't equal zero, you make it equal zero. Every dollar has a purpose. Every dollar has a job. If it is going to savings, if it's going to investing, if it's going to pay off debt, repayment of debt, don't give yourself leverage or give yourself wiggle room to really make it go over and not equal zero. Income minus expenses has to equal zero, guys. Super important. So let's say income minus expenses leaves you with $200. Guess what? I can pay some stuff off. I can invest that $200. I can do a lot with it. Number five, we look at the no spending challenge. Now, this is something that I've actually tried several times, works incredibly well to amplify the investment accounts. Go a couple days, a week without spending anything that is not a need. So you have your needs, you have your wants. So you're spending and using money that are needs. So car payments, things of that nature, housing payments. But when you look at the wants are the ones that you do not want to spend any money on. See how long you can go with the zero spending challenge and see exactly how much you can commit to saving within the time frame for that challenge. Number six, stop paying fees. This is huge, guys. Subscription fees are huge. When you look at Apple, when you look at Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, Crave, cable, Spotify, gym memberships, everything has a subscription fee or has a fee. Bank accounts have fees. There are so many different ways that you can rid your life of fees, rid your life of subscriptions. Even looking at the banking, what are you paying? Most bank accounts charge about $10 to $15 per month, again, in fees. If you overdraft, it's fees on top of fees. It's kind of crazy, guys. Visit your local credit unions. You can usually find things that are completely free. Number seven, we get into planning your meals. That is right, guys. Meal prep is huge. You usually eat much healthier, and with planning your meals and meal prep, usually not only is it more healthier, but it is also a cheaper alternative to eating out, which means that you're not wasting money and you're not missing food when you plan exactly what you're going to have. We plan our lunches, we plan our dinners, makes it incredibly easy, not only when we go shopping, to stick to the list and do not overspend. Number eight, do grocery shopping online. I love this one, guys. If you shop up on an empty stomach, you are going to spend a lot more money, and you're going to sneak in $2 things, $5 things, $10 things, a lot of things that you need. Did you know that items that you can put in your cart, almost 50% of them go bad sitting in the fridge? Most of them do not use. Now, with that being said, guys, you can make a grocery list, shop your list online. You don't even have to go to the store anymore. I do the click list through Kroger. I do the BJ's pickup, the Sam's Club pickup, a couple different things. So we're only buying the necessities that we need. Number 9, paying yourself first. This is something that is super important, guys. We've talked about the automation and automating your finances. When you put cash aside into an account as the number 1 priority, remember that is coming out of the income. It is more importantly, it is for you guys. This is something that is going to be good for you every payday, putting a little bit of money for future you. And trust me, future you, of course, will thank you when you get there. Pay yourself, put yourself in a place where the financial fundamentals are there and you're saving for a long-term goal. If you want to do something special, you have money there. It's not going right back to buying credit cards. Number 10, compare brands. That is right, guys. Name brand things are a lot more expensive. And again, I look at things and I really break it down to what adds value. Regardless of the price, what is going to be the most value? What is going to add the most value? And you really do need to shop around, because with the internet, you can find a lot of things that are a lot cheaper. You can use Rakuten, you can use coupons, discounts, things of that nature to get the exact same things that you get elsewhere, just at a much cheaper cost. And also with that, with the value, is you do have to weigh in the quality. Guys, that is something that I feel a lot of people overlook, where you might buy 3 of a cheaper brand versus buying 1 of more expensive brand, but the more expensive brand can last, 5 times, 10 times longer than cheap versions of brands. You really have to look again at what the value is within there. Number 11, connect your spending to your work. That is right, guys. This is a very, very tough way to break it down. You work hard for your money, but rarely spend money to connect to people. You'll buy a pair of shoes for $100, not even think much about it. But if you knew exactly how much you had to work to pay for those, so again, if you're a young adult and you're making $15 an hour, to pay for $100 shoes, how many hours do you have to work? That is right, guys. Mathematically, you can break it down to see exactly what the cost is. Of course, minus out your taxes, because if you're making $15 an hour, you're not bringing home $15 an hour. That is right. Calculate and see exactly how much you have to do and how much you have to work to buy and afford that one item. With that being said, guys, your entire budget can be blown very, very fast if you're not paying attention. Now, the bonus tip in here is treating yourself when you reach a goal. Set milestones for yourself. If you're looking at $1,000 in that emergency fund, set those milestones for yourself. When you hit it, celebrate. It doesn't mean going out and spending a couple $100s, but it could be ice cream, it could be a night out, it could be a game. If you really gamify the process and reward yourself for hitting those milestones, the likeliness of hitting those is going to be much higher. All right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. If you're loving the content that I'm putting out there, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.